Welcome to another video. In this video I set up a 6.5 Creedmoor in a Tikka and I show you how I run 0 offset loads, running a long range load and also a close quarters load through the same rifle with ballistic offsets. So come along and enjoy. Good morning guys. I'm out here at the range. Got a bit of a, I call it the free Tikka. So I'll be shooting a between rifle projects. I've got this, I'll show you that soon, the 6.5 Creedmoor. It's a bit of a bitzer, kind of put it together. It actually, the rifle itself actually is free because of what I pulled off it and put on it. Changed the bolts and the barrels, so it's a go in between rifle while my 284 gets chambered. So I've got some different loads that I wanted to try, and I'm going to set the rifle up in my Ballistics app for a bush, so a low bush load with a 153 grain, and then a long range load with the 147 ELD match. And I'm going to show you how you can actually run 2 loads out of the same rifle using offset zeroing through your Ballistics app, and we'll see if we can get some grouping today. It's a Tikka, so it should be sweet. Yeah, we'll get into it. So this is the rig. So it's just a factory, very factory Tikka. It's got a 17-inch barrel, and that's about it really. It's a 17-inch, kind of a heavier contour, 6.5 Creedmoor with a suppressor. So pretty basic. I'll run my Bushnell, I really like the scope, Bushnell Elite 4-16 on there for now. And once my Savage is ready to go, that'll get pulled off and I'll sell this. But yeah, do some shooting. Got the chronograph as well, so that's always a bit of an asset if you're trying to set up a long range rig. Well, would I call this long range? No, it's medium, be a 400 yard rifle. But let's get into it. Alright, here's our 3 different bullets. So these ones here are just to get on the page basically. I got those with the barrel. This one here is my bush load, so that's actually a 153 A-tip, and there's my 147 ELD match for going longer. So let's get into it. Sweet. Well, those 2, I think they're 100 grain something. They're pretty much touching, nicely vertical, but quite a bit high. So I've pulled the scope down. The chronograph's not reading for some reason because it needs like perfect sunlight. It's not a very good chrono. I don't know why. But so what we'll do is we'll get zeroed on the long range loads first, properly zeroed. Hopefully we get some reading on them because it's not very good. Well, that just shot pretty much one hole. Speed of 2.565, which is not very fast, but for a Creedmoor 147 short barrel, no suppressor, it's alright. So what we'll do is I'll just get those properly zeroed, bring it down onto the lower target. I've got 2 targets there, one fine and one not fine, and then I'll bring it out, get it properly zeroed, and then we'll shoot our bush load, which it's getting better and better as the bullets get heavier. There's less crack because I don't want to run a suppressor. There you go guys. I've done my shooting routine, decided I don't want to go with the suppressor. Let's review our speeds. Alright, So this is the 153A tip. Now this is a very low load, so I just wanted it for a bush load, with the idea that it doesn't destroy my ears. Now the suppressor, I don't want to buy another suppressor, but anyway, so let's have a look. Let's review this one, 22229, 2298. That's a big spread. Okay, weird. Okay, this is the 147 match, 2563, 2564, which is really good. And then that's all I got, because the 100 grain loads wouldn't do their thing. So what we're going to do, we'll go up to the target now, and I will put in my offset in my Ballistics app for if I go in the bush and I use that lower load. We're good. Let's go up and have a look. Okay, here's the result. So here's the first 2 shots with those 100 grain. I don't even know, I can't remember what they are. They just came with the barrel. Here's the 147 ELD match. I only do 2 shots just so I can save my barrel. So here, stapled that on there. That's my bore sight. So it came down, directly down, boom boom. Then I zeroed that 147 match, 1 shot there, and I pulled it in 2 clicks. So it'll be smack on central, which is good. And I'll verify that one day when I go take it out, like on a rock or something. And then here's the A tips down here, which this is probably, I think, measuring it. Oh yeah, it's just under 1 inch, which is whatever, it's a bush load. I was aiming right in here. So you can see, you know, if you look at this, it's not, bugger, there it goes. It's not really anything to write home about, but I'll just show you how, because usually it's worse, actually, it's a lot worse. So I'll show you how I do my offset and set it up for the bush, and away we go. Alright, so I'm on the other camera now. So what I've got on here is, I've actually loaded what I've done. Everything keeps blowing away, hold on. So if I go into my, see, I've got 2 cartridges in here, you can see this. I've got a 143 bush load, 143 ELD-m, alright? So if I click into this, I've got all this zeroed properly with the speed and the temperature that it's at. Not that I really need that for this, because I'm only going to be using it to 400. If that, so that's all you can see there. I've got it at 100 yards, and I'm all zeroed out. So all I've done, and that would count for those my long range loads. So then all I do is click into here. I change my cartridge, and I've set up a 143 bush load. All right, I've got my average speed in there at the temperature that we're at, BC and all that sort of stuff. Not that I really need it. Now what I've done is I've measured out here, okay, and so I've measured exactly the distances that the bullets hit from where I was aiming with the zero of the 147. So when I hit calculate, it tells me how many MOA that I need to offset it and things like that to get it up into here. And so I've checked it with the scope as well. So what I'll do is I'll just leave my scope. Well, I'll put it on the other camera. So there's all my data, and I'll show you on the phone. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. Oh, one more. I'm going to leave that on 2 MOA, and then I'm going to leave that one on 0.8. All right. That's if I know I'm going to go bush hunting. That's what I'm going to do. To be honest, this one I probably will actually just zero, simply because I don't want to get into the bush and have to remember to take this cap off for a long range shot as well. So I know if I take a long range shot with my 147 data, I just punch in the same data and return it back to 0. And if I go back in the bush, I jump on my bush load in my phone, and I put that back onto 2 MOA. Probably splitting hairs for the bush, but just means that I know that anything within 0 to 200 I can just aim and bang, I know it's good. So that's how you do it. But anyway, that's me. I'm going to go home now. But this little Tikka is good. It's really good actually. It's super accurate. 17-inch barrels. It's actually not too loud. I chose not to shoot it with a suppressor because I don't want to carry a big gunworks suppressor. What I did with it is, obviously it's a Tikka action. Well, this one's actually came off a really flash rifle. I picked up the barrel and I asked my gunsmith if he could turn it back, you know, like I think 40 thou, so hardly anything. So turn the barrel back and actually rechamber it. And I asked him if he could just touch up the end of the crown as well. And I just find that just doing little things like that, it doesn't cost you much. Means that you get a fresh new chamber, even if it, you know, even if it was not, it hadn't done a lot of work anyway. But while he's sticking it on, you may as well just get him to do something like that. And it just means that you're pretty much starting with a brand new sort of platform, and it's been rechambered really nicely. Cool, hope you enjoyed that. So this will be my rig while I build my 284. I've gone back to the 284, sort of gone round right through the 7mm Magnums and then back to the 284. So that'll be another gun project that I'll be doing, so catch you later.